If you're a Total War apologist, please leave the room right now. Before you leave though, I'd just like to say that I like this game, and I love this franchise. But I'm going to be focusing mostly on its problems in this review, so it's going to feel like I'm being unfair to the game in your twisted point of view. That couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, I love this game more than you do because of what I'm about to do. You see, the beauty of what I do is that I don't have to kiss anyone's ass! So what you're about to get is pure honesty from a Total War fan of more than a decade. Now go! Get out of here, leave. Go and read a dishonest review that gives this a near perfect rating. The rest of you stay here. Is it gone? Good. Let's begin. Now, Shogun 2 was phenomenal. It was a solid release with inevitably a few bugs, but it had significant additions. No real feature strip. They added substantially to multiplayer, really consolidated and streamlined things, and put a huge amount of detail into everything. Cool in-game cutscenes, fabulous graphics, great UI, huge amounts of polish, and it was a marked improvement over Empire Napoleon. So what happened? What the f*** happened? I feel like I've been lied to. Rome 2 has zero polish, massive bugs, lots of strip features, bare bones multiplayer, streamlined to the detriment of strategic play. The in-game cutscenes are mostly... The UI is improved on the map, but worsened in battle. And the whole thing just feels like a fucking beta test.
Interesting background.
Now I have been fortunate enough to be able to run through the game alright, but the Angry Army has reported a bunch of problems to me. There are some questionable frame rate drops, and the whole thing feels like it's been very poorly optimized. Some people are unable to even play it. This is the stuff that I know can be patched relatively fine, but I still need to mention it as a fuck up at release. I mean, look at these screens. Yeah, that's what the game looks like, my ass!
We're really pushing the look of the game, but this is super early code. We're way pre-alpha, and what that means is there's loads of features, not just in terms of the graphics, but also in terms of the combat and the animations that actually aren't in the game yet. So the final game's actually going to look way better than this.
But graphics, who cares about graphics, you know? For me, what kills it for me, what hurts the game the most, is that the AI in this game is dead on arrival. It's the worst it's ever been.
Hi, I'm Julian McKinley, Battlefield AI programmer on Total War Rome 2.
2 square!
So in Rome 2, we have invested more resources into improving the Battlefield AI than I think we have in any Total War game to date. Fixing bugs, polishing and iterating on what we've had previously.
it's as if they fired their AI programmer, kicked his ass to the curb, and had an intern work his job. And while I was a naive, wide-eyed Total War fanboy back in the day, even being favorable to Empire, just ignoring and pressing through most of his issues,
I love 2009!
I'm a bitter old man now who's fucking tired and it actually expects my sequels to improve and fucking fix the issues that have been around for ages! Are we trying to do a Madden now, Sega? Are you guys cracking the whip on Creative Assembly to crank these things out every 2 years, even though they tell you it's not enough time? Because so God help me, if that's what you're doing, I will come over there and I will bitch slap you! This is my favorite strategy franchise of all time, and I refuse to let you fuck with it! I need my Total War fix. You see how unstable I get if I don't get a good one. Now let's continue. The campaign map AI is extremely passive. Even on the highest difficulty levels, Legendary, you will just mow right through anything and everyone. The AI rarely declare wars on you, especially when you get extremely powerful, which is extremely easy to do. But you will find yourself mostly the only one declaring wars. Once you're in them, the AI will attack undefended cities of yours the moment it senses one, but that's about it. It refuses to make large consolidated army stacks that have power behind them. Instead, it makes tons of smaller army stacks made up of a few units or less, and then it throws these in suicidal missions against your garrisons. What the f***?
They're either never aggressive, never sending troops to you, or they're suicidal and they send like one fucking dude. One.
Apparently, half the press decided to play this game less than an hour and slap a rating on it. Not only did I pour 30 hours into the pre-release build, but I continue to play post-patch. So here is the brutal, honest truth about Rome Total War 2. I love it! But I hate every moment of it in its current state.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
The battle AI is Empire level stupid. That means bad for you non-Total War fans. And if you don't know what type of game this is by now, go to hell! I don't have time to explain it to you at the moment. I'm too angry. All you need to know is that it's the best strategy game ever and you should be a fan of it. Turn-based campaign map, real-time battles, you get to run historical empires. Get it? Got it? Good! Now, I've won hundreds of battles on Legendary and lost maybe a single damn one, and that's only because I was fucking around. It's too easy to win. I'm even winning on victories while being outnumbered nearly 3-1. I bet you I could do 4-1. And that's even me sieging their cities. And that's if they put up a fight. Some of the time, armies will just show up and sit there and stare at you blankly.
Advance at speed!
I guess hoping that my annoyance level at having to wait 59 minutes for the turn time to expire will make me fucking quit.
Quick march!
Well, good fucking job, because it does make me want to quit.
But we've also developed a lot of new technology altogether, so we have an entirely new siege battle AI.
Send them to Hades, men!
stupid ass things like this.
Here we go. There they come. Oh my god. Oh no. Just kidding. We wanted to knock down that fence. Here we go. Nope. Nope. Don't JPEG. Do this shit. Nope.
So the result is a new AI system.
So we've introduced a new system in Rome 2, which gives the AI much more sophisticated forward modeling or prediction of the outcome of a battle or a fight between two specific units.
Or this.
The AI obviously is trying to win the battle, so it will do whatever increases or maximizes its odds of winning. We have invested more resources into improving the battlefield AI than I think we have in any Total War game to date. Fixing bugs, polishing and iterating on what we've had previously.
What the fuck, say?
So the AI really has to be able to sort of think on its own rather than just do set things that we tell it to do. DLC.
Let's break it down. Ultimately, two huge fucking problems right now destroy the game. Unit behavior and magical bullshit flags. Some brilliant person at CA thought it would be a fantastic idea to spawn these flags that you can hold and capture in open field battles. Or even if you sally forth from them sieging you. There is no rhyme or reason to them. I understand if you're attacking a city or a fort and having there be a flag and capturing, sure. But in no other circumstance is this acceptable. You don't put random flags in an open field battle. Now, instead of setting up your guys on a strategic hill or a choke point and try to win a tough battle using your brains, instead you're forced to go and charge a little circle and then defend it within 50 seconds or you lose. This is a major slap in the face to all Total War players in an attempt to dumb down and make it more and more casual. We are losing what makes Total War great. It's as if someone played King Arthur and said, hey, let's rip them off, but only do it really, really stupid. In that game, if you control strategic points, you got bonuses on the battlefields and special abilities. Here, it's one flag, and if one fucking unit sits on it while hundreds of thousands of soldiers are fighting for their lives elsewhere on the battlefield, it ends in 30 seconds.
So do they always react to you going to the flag? Like, so you send one unit there.
I'm sending one unit there and nobody's reacting yet. Now I'm capping their flag and nobody's reacting.
I wonder if you can exploit that and just like have...
Yeah, you can. Timer is ticking down now. 35 seconds. 0 seconds, I got it. Should I got it?
What's worse is that formations break apart instantly and battles turn into huge mosh pits. Okay? This is the fucking battles in Total War 2.
The enemy general is dead.
Generals in the time period won and lost through formations and discipline. But you can't do that shit on default, as unit collision is completely fucked in this game. Instead, troops ball up, just ignoring all the years of training and just run into each other like idiots. Just all-out brawls, no discipline whatsoever. I can't even see the fight animations. It looks like a fucking orgy! I mean, I know this is Rome, after all, but come on!
Which can block off streets, which can split up its forces and actively defend or attack specific points in the map.
Oftentimes, the AI units completely ignore your armies. They'll try to push right past them to get to the stupid fucking flag behind you, all while being slaughtered and murdered the whole way.
They're just fucking trying to push through everybody. And you know what's happening here, guys? I'll tell you exactly what's happening here. You can even see the general unit. He's trying to sneak through here. What's happening is the fucking flags, once again. All the AI cares about is those flags. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to get past the Spartan forces to get to the flag behind in the city. And he doesn't care anything that's in front of him. And he actually chose the worst possible way to get there too.
Another huge complaint and a marked difference in the game is how insanely fast they've made battles now. They've sped up troop speed, I guess, or units break their morale much quicker. So engagements are lasting 3 minutes, 5 minutes. I think my longest battle ever was like 10 minutes. Hell, look at this battle here, okay? Look at this insane amount of units, and then look at how long it took. What the fuck? Half the fun of these games was watching units slug it out, and then plugging the gaps where needed. You felt like a general. The music was badass. You watch the individual fights play out and then the larger battlefield condition. That's why you spent all the motion capture money in the past. CA, now everything happens so fucking fast, there's no damn point to any of it. Why spend money? Why spend money on hype facial animations if battles are over in 2 fucking minutes?
We've got a huge budget for the game, about 40% bigger than anything we've done before, so we're absolutely determined to make it the most epic Total War title ever.
I'm convinced that these mechanics, they're now there to hide the fact that the AI is completely broken and nothing was done to improve it. How can this be the biggest budget Total War game, 40% bigger than anything before, and yet the AI is this incompetent at release? This incompetent. Where the fuck did all the money go? Did it go to this guy?
Wow, so what I see at the end of the day is that the Contrabinium was a perfectly self-contained small unit. The Roman army was highly organized. The Roman army had systems. It could be mobilized very quickly and get to a trouble spot faster than any other army of its day.
So he can tell us how real Romans lived and fought, but yet have none of that actually happen in the game? You know, the History Channel used to feature Total War battles because of the realism. That would never happen with this system nowadays. Mobs. Fucking mosh pits. Heavy metal mosh pits. Shogun 2 had nowhere near the problems and odd design decisions that Rome 2 has now. Where Shogun was 2 steps forward in the franchise, Rome is 3 steps backward. Tell me, what does Rome add to the franchise besides revisiting the time period? What specific, significant addition does it bring to the table? Does it add something cool like religion? Nope. What about cool Senate mechanics, right? And politics for Rome? Nope. Robust diplomacy, finally? Fucking nope! All it does is continue to streamline, and it starts to go even further into stripping out features. Streamlining needs to stop here! I am putting my foot down! I don't know what you're doing, or if you're gearing up for a console release, but streamlining done! It can't get no more streamlined! It's time to add fucking features now! Not take them away!
Multiplayer is a shell of its former self. The persistent map battles, those clans, the customizable generals minigame, all that metagame stuff, gone. Now it's just custom battles, 2-player campaign, which don't even fucking work. I've tested them. Clearly no other goddamn viewer has. You wanna know why? Because they desync.
It's taking a while.
Yeah, this one.
Now I'm stuck.
Yeah, I'm stuck. I've been stuck on Egypt, which is about the 4th or 5th faction in ever since you've been counting. What did you stop at, by the way?
108.
Oh my god, are you serious?
Yeah, and it's still going. It's on TNS right now, but it's stuck there. Nothing's happening anymore.
I cannot save. It's just frozen and I cannot save, so we're fucked. Not a single player who's played it won't tell you that they haven't had desync problems, especially by turn 100. Right now, in fact, if one player exits the game using the menu, it will freeze your system and you will crash for them simply exiting. And I think I've crashed. And I hope you're ready for sitting around and waiting, because I feel like I'm waiting more than I'm playing. After you complete your turns, even if you turn off the unit animations for the AI, it takes forever, 3 to 5 minutes as it goes through the more than 108 different factions taking their turns. I counted. In fact, I blanked out 2 while counting because they go so fast, so there's probably more. I'm not fucking joking. 108! More than that! Yeah, it really didn't gain us a bunch. I mean, yeah, definitely when we had the whole map revealed, that would just be fucking ridiculous. Yeah. And it sucks that you can't change it mid-game, so you're fucked. If you didn't remember to uncheck that, yeah, and you start to get turned 150, 200, you're screwed. Well, let's see if we could find that one faction and see how many factions it goes through. Okay. Now, this isn't a huge deal in single player. I can deal with it, right? But in multiplayer, you will tear your hair out when it all desyncs. If you're streamlining the game, and you're streamlining so many different elements of the game, but then one particular thing you bloat to a ridiculous level. The one thing that pretty much takes the most time in a game session, because right now, it feels more like waiting than it does playing.
Yeah. I agree with you.
You know, I've spent more time on Reddit is fun on my phone than I have playing this game. That's what it felt like. What kind of play experience is that in multiplayer?
We've got a huge budget for the game, about 40% bigger than anything we've done before, so we're absolutely determined to make it the most epic Total War title ever.
Rome 2 is bare bones. In fact, skill trees have been completely stripped out and removed from the game. Instead, when someone in your family dies, just some generic dude magically appears and replaces him. Can you marry and have a son and then have him take revenge for your badass general being killed in battle? Nope! The only option is to force other families to marry your women so that you can keep your generic shitty family of nobodies going, and those women, by the way, are generic nobodies that you can't select either. And by the way, your family all gain crazy traits way too fast, as if they know what kind of state the game is in.
Caligula. If only all Rome had just one neck.
Caligula,
Take my horse to his own bed.
the emperor who devoured Rome.
Greetings, cinema snob! I am Caligula! I invented a machine that decapitates Roman traitors and feeds their balls to the palace dogs! For I am the descendant of the god Jupiter!
I thought we were past this, you know. Shogun 2 gave us a clean slate, and I didn't once consider we would be going back to this bullshit. To add further insult to injury, the DLC whoring. It's getting out of control now, guys. You know, I could have lied to myself and just ignored it. But when the game comes out like this, everything is magnified. I'm sick and fucking tired of them trying to piecemeal this game, chop it up into little parts, break it down, and then sell it to us in pieces. That's what the Greek States DLC is. And don't you try! Don't you even try to defend it! I'm sure that it's Sega issuing marching orders to Creative Assembly, but this bullshit is wrong. The Greek States DLC was free if you pre-ordered the game, but haven't we learned by now that pre-ordering is risky as hell? I mean, especially with Creative Assembly's history, Empire, and now this game's release date as proof? But no, let's take the factions you know people want to play like Sparta, cut them out of the game, unless you spend what? $8 on them! Fuck that! That's right, everyone from this point on needs to shell out $8 to play as Sparta, to steamroll the shit AI.
This is Sparta!
Oh yeah, they're in the game. Yeah, they're in the game, but if you don't buy them, you can't play as them. Why? Because fuck you, give me money!
This is blasphemy. This is madness!
Creative Assembly and Sega need some serious tough love. Because I'm sick of this bullshit. Releasing these games, then announcing that you will be patching the game every week indefinitely, and based upon our feedback, is fucking unacceptable. Here's an example for you. War elephants, one general unit versus 2,000 men. Who do you think is gonna win this battle? You'd think that Creative Assembly would have done some basic testing, basic balancing in their game, yet they have not. Let me speed it up for you here, and you'll notice that not a single war elephant has been killed. That's right, the war elephants win. They destroy an entire army of 2,000 men. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't think that's historically accurate. Basic fucking testing. I don't believe they've done any external testing at all. You know what? Hire an independent fan test team and have them wreck your game as hard as they can. Just break that shit. Beat on it for like a month. Then do all the patching you need then. Then release the game. Problem solved. Hell, you might get some cool features out of it if you extend that month to 3. Shit, there are people out there that will do that shit for free! And don't worry about being sued, just make them sign something. We are some of the most passionate fans ever, the Total War community. Other than all that shit though, I'm tired of ranting. How is the rest of the game? Are there any good elements? Well, yes. Otherwise, I wouldn't have played it for 30+ hours in 10-hour marathon sessions. The core concept is solid. It seems as if they've spent lots of time improving the UI for both new and veteran players. There's a prologue campaign that teaches you how to operate the camera, how to use the cool new cinematic camera, how to move your troops, and when they're in cover, and other basic concepts of the game. The new UI is essentially tooltip heaven. Everything imaginable has a corresponding tooltip upon hovering your mouse over it. Its various statistics, its statuses, its effects. This extends to the campaign map. The tutorial continues to teach you, introducing you to city building, a new streamlined technology tree. You can even see at quick glance, with tooltips, what exactly is affecting a particular city's unhappiness. All of these improvements lead to players being able to focus more on their strategies. In fact, as a city grows, you can build new things, and what's better is you can actually see it grow on the campaign map. It's awesome stuff.
You can see that Capua's city limits grow to accommodate the new construction site. Now instructed. Excellent. Weapons and armor are always good investments in times of war.
Now the map continues the tradition of clear, defensible choke points and large blocking terrain. It makes for a more realistic and thematic experience. In theory, if the AI didn't fuck things up. How many armies, agents, fleets, and edicts you can issue is now controlled by how important your faction is in the world, which you gain by conquering territories. When you go from insignificant to noteworthy, for example, you double your armies from 3 to 6, and most everything is also doubled. Armies now have different stances you can select when marching them on the map, though I rarely use them. And in addition to your generals gaining experience, armies themselves can now gain traditions. It's a cool mechanic helping the dynamic storytelling of the game as you try to go undefeated with your best army. This was really one of the only thematic additions I feel was really made for this period. That and bringing back flaming pigs.
Madness! 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 Madness!
Economy consists of building, upgrading, reorganizing various buildings in your cities. They'll give you food, wealth, and other bonuses. Regions are now broken into provinces where there's one capital for each province. Usually it's either 2 spaces or 4 spaces that will make up a full province. And what this does is it keeps everything nice in one place to see at a glance on the UI. No more searching for tiny things. They also serve as good mini objectives, good motivation to keep the player involved, capturing them all to complete a region so that you can issue one of the new edicts, which are basically just stat boosts to all cities within that region. There's been a lot of improvements, I feel, to the campaign map. Depending on what military buildings you have in the city, that city will always somewhat be protected as they automatically despawn defense forces if sieged. So with this, you can use your now limited armies for conquest and rely on your garrison forces to hold out if attacked until they can get reinforced by one of the regular armies. That's cool, that's thematic. But what's happening is that the whole game is city battles. City battles, city battles. And city battles aren't particularly that good. They're not siege battles, city battles. I mean, the goal of this new system was to relieve the relentless siege battles of Shogun 2, tempting the AI to come out of their castles and fight on the fields. This doesn't happen. Instead, you'll be funneling forces down tight alleyways most of the time, and you know Total War hasn't been able to handle that. When you attack a capital in a region, that's when you get the traditional siege battle with siege equipment, which you are unable to reposition before the battle for some reason. So you can't switch it, in any direction, which is stupid. And getting up the walls is easy enough, but getting back down them is a fucking nightmare.
Spear infantry.
Okay, come on. Go down. Go down there, please. Use the thing on the right and go down there. Oh my god. Alright, I know some of them are still going up the ladder, but I guarantee you, I have units there. They're fully up on the ramparts. Now please go down. It's because the whole unit will not move unless the very last person gets up the ladder. They should make these units more dynamic to where, the first guy up can come down if he feels like it without having to wait for the 120th dude to get up the fucking ladder. Unique videos and clan advisors are gone, okay? Most of the cinematics in the game are gone. You know those cool event movies that made you feel like the game had some life to it? Gone! Now things feel more lifeless than ever. You now have 3 agents, spies, champions, and dignitaries, but they all feel like they function the same, doing the same basic 3 things. Skill trees for them and generals completely suck, as you can no longer see down the paths and plan ahead for how you want your general to be like. You just get things like authority, zeal, cunning. Warrior, you're supposed to know what comes next down the line later from the encyclopedia where the skill trees are hidden away. It makes planning out your characters a pain when compared to Shogun 2. I mean, look, you can see the skill tree here really nicely. Yet here in Rome 2, this is how you see it. You have no idea what the politics system does now. None of it even seems to matter. Nothing is explained at all for it, and you have no idea what's going on. So it's been up to people on the forums to figure it out. Honestly, it feels like there was gonna be this big, robust system plan for the game at one point. I know they've talked about it, like similar stuff before in videos, but it feels like it's been completely cut out of the game. I guess we'll see it in an expansion, and that's not a dig at CA, okay? I want to see it in an expansion. It just sucks to have to say that. You know, I'm sort of convinced that at this point, unless Sega or Creative Assembly start to hire guys to fix their diplomacy and their AI, we will just never see any movement on these systems ever. Just the same old shit. We'll patch it later after release. Never really patching it. So, look, I can go on forever about this game. How naval battles are pretty much broken at the moment. How transport ships that are now created for free by simply moving out your armies out into the ocean are far more powerful than naval vessels, making navies and admirals useless for everything besides auto-resolving. But since naval battles are fucked, you pretty much auto-resolve these naval battles anyway. In battles, there's no guard mode, no fire at will, so you're constantly babysitting. Sometimes status messages on the campaign map will read negative, but positive things will result from it, making you confused as to whether what just happened was good or bad. And stop fucking taking the battle speeches out, god it! I assume right now
that their wives and children
listen
will
to the
suffer in slavery. Well, let's do it.
That was the general speech. That's literally it. Oh, fuck you guys. Sure, the general says like two things. Short, but not sweet. Why anyone would prefer this over the longer, context-sensitive, appropriate speeches where he says, you know, different things depending on who he's fighting, which were skippable, by the way.
There's nothing that offends my sight more than those sway-backed, leprous, pox-riddled children of she-wolves over there. I cannot begin to recount how my stomach burns with anger at them. Our Egyptian foes should pray to their god, as shortly they will be judged before him. We will send them all to heaven or hell soon enough. Just go and kill those arse-nibbling, merkin-grabbing, loon-faced idiot nun-fondlers, will you?
And use the cinematic camera, which is what it seems like the series is moving towards anyway, yet here they're completely gone. Just completely downplayed. Rushed, like everything else in this game.
Today we face those proud Romans, the Brutii. They are worthy enemies, but enemies nonetheless. They outnumber us by a significant margin. But so what? One of them is worth less than the dirt beneath a toenail. We will fight like lions instead of men.
I know that's a small-ass thing compared to everything else that I've listed, but there is just so much else to talk about. But I think you get the important things. So it's time now for the final verdict, and I'm sorry if I didn't cover what you wanted me to cover, okay? Rome Total War earns right now a 6 out of 10 post-patch. It's slightly above average. Pre-patch, it's maybe like a 5 out of 10 average, because all these bugs, all these issues are like the weight is the game is crumbling under the weight of all these things. And even if they clear it all the way, you still have some questionable design decisions, some bare bones features, a lot of things taken out and nothing really developed to make it feel like Rome. So why does it not score worse? Well, because the core concept is fucking awesome. The detail is there, even though it's in low res right now. You can sense that there is something under all this bullshit that's worth playing. But why would you want to spend hundreds and hundreds of hours in a game right now that offers you no challenge, that is completely single-minded, and that the AI is brain dead in? Now, with some patches, sure, I'm sure the game is gonna get better, but in my opinion, after all said and done, this game is just not as good as Shogun 2, which sucks, because I wanted a good game in this period. Now, if you want to skip Rome 2, you really wouldn't be missing out on anything. Buy Shogun 2 with Fall of the Samurai. Come back in an expansion or two, then we might have this game that we were hyped and promised, because right now, this isn't it. I'm watching you, Sega. Don't fuck this up for me. Until then, I'll see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show.
He stabbed his penis! I stabbed my ball! What the fuck? Alright. You ready? We should use that.
My wall farted!
We should use that noise.
Is that noise for
when we bump into each other? Alright, ready?
Kiss your rings and stuff. No, you don't kiss your rings. They kiss your rings.
You said kiss your rings.
Yeah, the maneuver, kiss your rings.
What'd you say? Tell them to kiss your rings. I was like, why? Oh, you done fucked up now. Alright. I got this.